UK. And then she's applauded, oh, what a good statement she made. Double standards. One Home Secretary bans me because I say this. The next Home Secretary borrows my statement. Makaru makarallah wallahu khairul makirin. They planned and plotted, Allah to plan. Allah is the best of planners. Allah does the planning. Do you know the way she was humiliated? Theresa May. She had to resign. She cried in front of everyone. Humiliated. They planned and plotted, Allah to plan. Allah is the best of plan. We as guys, we continue doing our job. We deliver the message. Many a times, two people are giving the same label for the same activity. You know, before India got it, and one of them was Bhagat Singh. The Britishers, they called Bhagat Singh as a terrorist. They called him one of the biggest terrorists of India. But most of us Indians who know the history of India, we call him as a patriot, as a freedom fighter. Same person, same activity, two different labels. Someone is calling him a terrorist, other people are calling him as patriots. If you agree with the view of the British government that they had the right to rule over India, then you'll have to agree that Bhagat Singh was a terrorist. But if you agree with the view of the common Indians that the Britishers came to India to do business, they have no right to rule over us, you will call these people as patriots, as freedom fighters. Same people, same activity, two different levels. In 1775, when the Britishers ruled America, there were many Americans who were fighting for the freedom. It was called as the American Revolution. And George Washington was in the forefront. At that time, the British government called George Washington as terrorist number one of America. Later on, the Americans get the freedom from the Britishers. They make a new country, USA, United States of America, and George Washington becomes the president. Imagine, terrorist number one becomes the president of the country. We have the example of South Africa. Nelson Mandela, many years ago, previously in South Africa was the white apartheid government. They arrest Nelson Mandela and call him a terrorist number one and imprison him in Robben Island for 25 years. Many years back. For 25 years, they arrest him, call him a terrorist, and imprison him in Robben Island. Later on, when South Africa gets its freedom, Nelson Mandela is released from prison. He stands for election, he wins and becomes the president of South Africa. Later on, he gets the Nobel Prize for Peace. Imagine terrorist number one becomes the president of a country, South Africa, then gets the Nobel Prize for Peace. Not that he was bad and he became good. For the same activity for which he was imprisoned and called terrorist number one, for the same activity later on, he gets the Nobel Prize for Peace. It's a dichotomy. Same person, same activity, two different labels. Previously he was called terrorist, then he gets Nobel Prize for Peace. So here we come to know that depending upon the media, how the media portrays, the label is stuck. Media is very powerful. It can convert a black into white, day into night, hero into a villain, villain into a hero. Media is very powerful. So whoever is in power, when he gives the label gets stuck. This is reality, unfortunately. We have several such examples. We know that decades earlier, when Russia attacked Afghanistan, the Americans, they supported Afghanistan. When Taliban fought against Russia, they were called the freedom fighters. When they win the war, they were praised. America forced Muslim countries to send mujahid to Afghanistan. And many Muslim countries sent fighters. MashaAllah. Now later on, when America wants to control Afghanistan, Taliban say, who are you? It is our country. And they are right. When they started fighting America, America took over. The biggest base outside America was in Afghanistan. What about non-Muslim countries? Yes or no? They will ask Uncle Sam what to do. We should only be afraid of Allah. And no one is. They give a label, fabricating evidence and bombarding Iraq and killing millions of children, innocent human beings, hundreds of thousands. And they gave a verdict that if they have to step foot in Malaysia, they'll be arrested. At least someone is there. Why are we so weak? They create, if they want to attack you, they give you a bad name and they hang the dog. And we Muslims just keep quiet. Why? If we are united, we'll be strong. Inshallah, I'm giving a talk on the 20th of July in Jakarta, in the ex-hangar, Pangkorin ground, next to the Pangkorin soccer field. My last talk in Indonesia, third talk in Jakarta on 20 is 15-point action plan for the Muslim Ummah for the cause of Palestine. There I'll talk about the action plan, inshallah. So coming back to the topic,
VIP so far. VIP
Islam's view on terror. Iraq and Syria killed 30 innocent human beings, 10 innocent. How can Islamic State kill innocent people? Can they kill? Yes or no?
No.
So we Muslims are helping our enemies who created this group. Oh, Islamic State is killing innocent. I told them it's a misnomer. Imagine if a fake man comes and gives an interview to me and he claims to be the president of the legend of fanatical Muslims sweeping across the world, forcing Islam at the point of the sword over conquered races, is the most fantastic, absurd myth that historians have ever repeated. We Muslims, we ruled Spain for about 800 years. We did not use the sword. Later on, the Crusaders came, the Christians came, they wiped out the Muslims. There was not a single Muslim who could openly give the azan. We Muslims, we were the rulers of the Arab land for the past 1400 years. For the last 1400 years, we Muslims, we ruled the Arab lands. For a few years the Britishers came, for a few years the French came, but the Arabs, the Muslims were rulers of the Arab land for the last 1400 years. Yet today, we have more than 10 million Arabs who are Coptic Christian. Today, we have more than 10 million Arabs who are Coptic Christians. Coptic Christians means Christians since generations. If the Muslims were the ruler of the Arab land for more than 1400 years, if the Muslims wanted, they could have converted every non-Muslim at the point of the sword, right or wrong? We didn't do it. So these more than 10 million Coptic Arab Christians today, they are giving Shahada that Islam was inspired by the sword. The country where I come from, India, we Muslims, the Mughals, they ruled India for 1,000 years. If the Muslims wanted, they could have forced every non-Muslim in India to convert at the point of the sword. Did they do it? No. Today, about 80% of India are non-Muslims. These 80% non-Muslim Indians who are majority Hindus, they didn't fight with the non-Muslims. But many people accepted Islam. More than 1/3 of India became Muslims. Later on, the Britishers divided. 1/3 went to Pakistan, 1/3 to Bangladesh, 1/3 remained in India. They claim that Indians are 14.3%, but I say they are more. They are close to 18 to 20%. More than the Muslims in Indonesia, according to me, according to my research. So today, the 80% non-Muslims in India, majority of them are Hindus, they are giving Shahada that Islam was not spread by the sword. If they wanted, they could have forced every non-Muslim to become Muslim. They did not do it. Today, Indonesia is a country which has the maximum number of Muslims. Theoretically, the country which
you all enjoyed and benefited. Brothers and sisters, we have now come to the much awaited question and answer session. In order to make this session beneficial and organized, we kindly request everyone to observe the following rules. There are a total 4 mics available today. 2 mics for the brothers and 2 mics for the sisters. For the brothers, the first mic is placed on the left in front of the gents audience, and the second mic is placed on my left in slightly middle of the gents audience. For the sisters, the third mic is placed on the right front of the ladies audience, and the fourth mic is placed on my right in the middle of the ladies audience. I would like to advise that our non-Muslim guests are our honored guests today. As such, the priority will be given to ask questions first to the non-Muslims. Volunteers are requested to usher the questionnaires to the nearest mic. And please guide the non-Muslims guests to the front of the queue. To those who are asking questions, please state your name and profession before asking the question. Please speak into the microphone clearly but slowly so that the speaker can hear your question loud and clear. Your question should be in brief, in not more than 3 to 4 sentences. I like to remind everybody that this is a question and answer session, not a lecture session. Please do not deliver a speech while asking your question. After asking your question, please remain silent and listen attentively to the answer given. Do not interrupt the speaker unless you are invited to respond. Only 1 question per person will be allowed at a time. If you have another question, kindly go back in the queue and wait for your next turn. Please ask your question only on the topic of the day, which is, if the label shows your intent, wear it, and Islam's view on the terrorism and jihad. As for the non-Muslims, you may ask the questions related to Islam and comparative religion in general. If it is difficult for you to ask your question in English, then please ask your question in Bahasa Indonesia, and inshallah I will translate it to English. I would also request Pak Dondi to kindly join me on the stage. Saudara-saudari sekalian, kini kita telah sampai pada sesi sangat dinanti-nantikannya, yaitu sesi tanya jawab. Agar sesi ini bermanfaat dan berjalan dengan tertib, kami mohon semua hadirin untuk mematuhi aturan berikut. Tersedia total 4 mikrofon hari ini. Mic satu ikhwan di sebelah kiri saya, di depan hadirin pria. Mic kedua ikhwan di sebelah kiri saya, di tengah-tengah hadirin pria. Mic ketiga akhwat di sebelah kanan saya, di depan hadirin wanita. Mic 4 akhwat di sebelah kanan saya, di tengah-tengah hadirin wanita. Tamu non-Muslim adalah tamu kehormat kami hari ini. Mereka akan diberikan prioritas pertama untuk mengajukan pertanyaan. Para relawan dimohon untuk membimbing para penanya ke mikrofon terdekat dan mendahulukan tamu non-Muslim di antrian. Sebutkan nama dan profesi anda sebelum mengajukan pertanyaan. Berbicaralah dengan jelas dan perlahan ke arah mikrofon